We start at the White House. President Donald Trump will mark his first 100 days in office with a rally in Michigan tomorrow and a message. Promises made, promises kept. But new CBS News polling suggests support for the president and those promises is slipping. Let's show you the contrast. Back in February, Americans gave him a 53% approval rating. Now that number is down to 45%. More Americans polled disapprove of the president's immigration policies. 51% disapprove, 49% approve, but more targeted questions specific to deportations and the numbers improved to 56% approval. That said, a large majority say the mistaken detentions and deportations of U.S. citizens is unacceptable. But the White House is doubling down on the justification for those deportations, going as far as to say putting up posters of arrested undocumented migrants on the White House North Lawn there. So let's bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. She is there. Nancy, we can see those posters behind you. Why did the White House choose that spot? Is it because they knew that all the cameras were going to be there and they were going to get plenty of airtime?
That's right. All the networks, all the cable channels, we're all lined up in a row here on the North Lawn of the White House. And so the posters are lined up right behind us. And you can see each of them has a mugshot. It says arrested, and then it lists the crime that the unauthorized migrant was arrested for in the first 100 days of the Trump presidency. Violent crimes like sexual assault on a child, murder, rape, and the White House is making the case that President Trump is making the country safer by getting these people off the streets, Liz.
And Nancy, President Trump is set to sign more executive orders on immigration today. What do we know about those?
Right. So he's got a very busy day because he's going to be greeting the Super Bowl champion Eagles to the White House in the afternoon, then signing executive orders on immigration right after that. And, the administration is going to be touting their first 100 days accomplishments all week long, but it is no accident that they are starting out today with this big push on immigration. We had a briefing with the president's so-called border czar, Tom Homan, first thing this morning at 8:30, where he made the case that the administration has effectively sealed off the border, and that's something you're going to hear echoed by the president himself this afternoon in the Oval Office.
And Nancy, in a sit-down interview with the Atlantic magazine, President Trump said, quote, "I run the country, I won the world." That interview was published today. What else can you tell us about what the president had to say in that interview?
Right. It's a pretty astounding statement, right? The president of the United States. Yes, the U.S. is often seen as the world's policeman, the most powerful country in the world. But for the president of the United States to come right out and say, "I run the world," that is a pretty bold claim. And it came in the larger context of the president telling these reporters from the Atlantic that he feels much more comfortable with the scope of his power in his second term, that he had people around him in his first term that he described in that interview as crooked, said he had to deal with that, and he was just in survival mode as a first-time politician. This time around, he said he's got people coming to him wanting to make deals, and that he feels clearly that he has a very expansive view of presidential power and that he isn't afraid to use it.